Three, two, one. Hello and welcome to Please Me. I am doing a special edition today, and I'm so excited to be bringing this information to you. Today, I have Marla Renee Stewart on the show, and she is a new business partner of mine, and we are announcing an incredible event that's coming up in June. It's called the Pleasure Me Pop-Up Event, and it's in West Palm Beach, Florida. And with all of that being said, let me get the conversation started with Marla here. Marla, welcome to Please Me. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Me too. So Marla and I met, I don't know, maybe 6, 7 months ago at a party, and we hit it off, and we have been, friends ever since. And she and I decided to create this pop-up event. And it's going to be a 5-week pop-up event in West Palm Beach, Florida. And so I have Marla on today to talk about the event. And I'm so excited to bring this to everybody. It's going to be so much fun. Do you have anything to say about it in general?
Well, I'm excited about it because this is a new venture for me. And I think it's going to be great. When you had the idea of having a month-long kind of immersive pop-up, I was kind of like, what? And I was like, but the fact that, we were able to kind of pull it all together is really quite fascinating for us to pull it together so quickly. So I'm just super excited about what can come of it. And mostly, I feel like it's just a preview of what's to come. You know what I mean? I think there are going to be some bigger and better things that are going to be happening. And so this is like a nice sneak preview of that. And so I'm really looking forward to making it happen.
I agree. I really feel like the stars have aligned for us and for this specific event. And it's even starting on the full moon, which I think is so amazing. So I definitely think that, this is meant to be event. It is going to be a combination of a bunch of different things. We're doing education, we're doing munches, we're doing play parties, and it's going to be a really amazing month and a week, really, because it's 5 weeks long. And we're ending. Let's talk about the ending, because I think that's going to be so much fun. We're ending with a really fun party, and it is called
the Sexual Independence Day. Yeah. Party.
So it's going to be on July 3rd, right? Sexual Independence Day party. So we are going to, be celebrating our independence in the sexuality space, right? And really just celebrating that. And it really is a celebration. When you step into your power sexually, it really is a celebration, and it really does translate. That confidence translates to all areas of our life. So let's talk a little bit about the educational portion of the programming, and what days we're going to be doing that, and what sorts of things we're going to be covering.
Yeah, well, what's awesome is that I've already had a schedule. Like, I teach every Wednesday. And so what we're going to do is basically be doing a sort of hybrid. So I will be in person in West Palm Beach, teaching my class, teaching it online as well as in person. So this will be kind of the first of its kind, I think, that I've ever done hybrid as a person who's live teaching a hybrid. And so for the educational portion, we both are going to be teaching classes. So Eve will have the first half of the evening. I will have the second half of the evening. And really, we are going to be teaching all the things that are every single class that you're going to get just over the month is like everything that we have in our what I call our sex arsenal, right? So it's lots of different skill sets, skill-based things, as well as mental health, educational knowledge, sexual health, all sorts of kinky stuff, of course, because, we wouldn't be doing that without thinking about the kinky stuff first. But really just helping people to enhance their skills. So for instance, on the first Wednesday that we have the lovely Eve talking about embracing big clit energy, the power of sexual confidence. So I'm super excited about that because I know I also teach confidence, but I'm not teaching it this month. But I love that concept of embracing big clit energy, as well as I'll be teaching around how to connect with people, really people in relationships across tech, teasing, and together time. So what does it mean to be in a long distance relationship? What does it mean to come together? What kind of toys and things do you need to enhance that sexual relationship across the miles? And then when you get together, like, how is it? So making sure that you are fully prepared for your LDR. And do you want to talk about the next Wednesday after that?
Yes, so I have to use my cheat sheet here,
Yeah.
and also my cheat sheet here. But the second Wednesday is going to be. Do you want to talk about the Saturday first, that first week?
Oh yeah,
First?
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So,
So
because
we
there is education twice a week, right? There's going to be education on Wednesdays and on Saturdays. So, that first Saturday, we're going to be doing an educational intensive, and Marla's going to be teaching that intensive. It's called Hitting What Counts. And she is breaking it down into 3 classes. One of them is Impact Play Unleashed. The second one is Flogging Fundamentals and Beyond. And the third one is Face Slapping Mastery. And I'm going to tell on myself here because I was her demo bottom recently for the face slapping class at Beyond Leather conference, which just happened a couple weeks ago in West Palm Beach. That was my first time being a demo bottom. I don't know. You never told me how I did. How did I
You
do?
did
How did I
great.
do? I was like, trying to like do my best and not complain.
You did great. You did great. What I love about demo bottoms in general is just, I mean, when you are a willing participant to be under these heavy hands, I mean, I kudos to you, right? So you were absolutely fabulous. It's, and the thing is, for people who want to get power slapped, that's a whole different thing, right? So but it's really fun to think about how to slap, how to engage with someone, especially when we think about the particular seduction learning styles. If you're not familiar with those, like the fundamental of how I teach, or my foundation of what I teach. So yeah, I'm super excited. And the flogging class, I'm super excited about, like, simply because, like, I'm going to be teaching not only the things that I've learned from the amazing Midori, who teaches a wonderful class called Whip Fit, but I'm also going to be kind of amalgamating another, oh my gosh, another class that I learned, the Florentine. And so I'll be teaching that as well to kind of round off that flogging class. So, and again, the spanking class is a spanking class. It's always so much fun. The impact play, I love teaching all about spanking and how to spank and what to spank and where to spank. So it's going to be a good time. And they're all interactive classes. So that's one thing I want people to make sure they know, is that, hey, come here to practice. You're coming here to learn, but you're also coming here to practice, right? These are skill-based things that you want to know more about.
Absolutely. And so the event itself is going to have an open dungeon that's open from 12 to 12 daily. And it's a BYOT event, meaning bring your own toys, right? And so for the intensives and any other class that is skill based, you just mentioned floggers and Florentine. So make sure that, if you sign up for the class, you also bring, if you have toys of your own, bring your own toys so that you can practice in these classes and really get skilled with the toys that you actually own, because that's going to be the best way to really build your skill level, right, in that particular skill. And if you don't have toys, then maybe it's time to go shopping, or we are going to have some vendors, and so hopefully we'll be able to provide some of that as well on site. So that's going to be super exciting as well. So that's week 1, right? And already it sounds amazing, but I want to just cover the other things that we're doing that week, because on Mondays, we're going to have the most incredible massage therapist on site. He's also going to be teaching a naked yoga class, which I'm super excited about. I love yoga and I love, to go to the naked beach. I'm not going to lie. And so this is going to be a really fun combination, and he is just a super skilled massage therapist. He is my massage therapist, and I don't get to see him as often, so I'm super excited to be able to see him every week. I sure will be putting myself on that schedule every week. And I'll need a little bit of a break from, the whirlwind of this event. But he's just really amazing. So that's Mondays, every single Monday of the event. Tuesdays, we want to talk about Tuesdays?
Yeah, Tuesdays, we are going to be having a boudoir photo shoot. So we're going to have some photographers available. You can contact us if you want to book a private session. So this is the time to, hey, you want to take some pictures next to some dungeon equipment, or you want to impress, your lover or lovers. You want to have something just for yourself, for your bedroom, to show like, hey, I am sexy AF and look at me. It's a really great way to help boost your confidence as well. So yeah, we'll be having that all day, as well as if you want to come in for some private dungeon time, you can come in there as well.
Absolutely. And, again, the dungeon is open from 12 to 12, and you can just come in for the dungeon as well. But the boudoir photography, I think, is going to be really, really fun. I actually have an appointment with this particular photographer scheduled for next week. I'm going to be doing a photo shoot with her. And so I'm super excited to work with her. She's incredibly talented. She's shared her portfolio with me, and she is really, really talented. So I'm super excited to work with her. And so hopefully we'll be able to provide, these services. And absolutely, boudoir does help to boost self-confidence, and particularly for people going through transitions. If you've gone through divorce, if you've suddenly lost a bunch of weight, if you've just had a child, so many different reasons why sometimes we just need a little boost of like self-love and self-confidence. And when you see yourself from the light of a photographer's eyes, it really can transform your view of yourself in a very positive way. So I definitely encourage anyone that has been thinking about doing boudoir to go out and check it out and do it for yourself, because it really is a beautiful present to yourself. And whether you choose to share those photos with anybody or not is another story. But just having those photos of yourself can really, really boost your confidence. I just interviewed someone on the show. Her name is Vera Glass. So I will make sure that you check out that episode. She talks about a woman who, was she was doing a boudoir shoot with her, and she showed her some of the pictures, and the woman said to Vera, she said, now I finally see what my husband sees when he always tells me that I'm so hot and I'm so beautiful, and I never ever knew what he was talking about until I saw myself through this lens. So it really is a very powerful tool. So that's going to be a lot of fun on Tuesdays. Wednesdays will be our educational evenings. Thursdays, let's talk about Thursdays. We're going to be doing
Munches. Yeah. So excited about Munches. If you don't know what a munch is, it's a casual gathering. So you will come on, you'll eat some food, you'll talk to some people. We'll have a demo, and then you can go and practice and play for a little bit. So it's a nice little kind of casual gathering, no pressure. You don't have to wear fetish gear or anything like that. You just come in your regular clothes, and it really is just a time to kind of discover and learn and, meet some new people that you can connect with and maybe hopefully play with in the future. So.
absolutely. Yeah. And like the idea is to absolutely get to know new people, right? And so if you have a specific interest like femdom, or you have another interest like if you're part of the BIPOC community, or if you're part of the new generation community, or what are the other two?
LGBTQ switches.
LGBTQ and switches, right? So those are the 5 munches that we're having. If you're part of those communities and you are sort of lost and not connected, this is a perfect place to connect with other people that are like-minded. And so we're going to be doing a munch every single Thursday from 6 to 10. And the dungeon will be open from 10 to 12 after that if people want to stick around afterwards and play. But, the munches are going to be a really great place to socialize and get some good food and just, make some new friends.
Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, so that's Thursdays, and Fridays are the parties. And then Saturdays are the intensives. So, and Sunday is the day of beauty rest or private sessions with Eve and I, if you're open for it.
Yes. Or if you're interested in hosting your own event, we are open to, having this space be a rentable space on Sundays for your own private events. So consider that too if you're listening and you want to host your own event and you have a group of people that you would love to invite to use the space. That would be another opportunity as well. So let's talk about Fridays, because Fridays are going to be so much fun. And tonight we're going to be hopefully getting some fun people to come check out our foot party. So, but we're just kind of still figuring out the different themes that we're going to have. It's not going to be like clothing themed, so you don't have to buy anything new for these events, right? And I sometimes hate those events where they're like, everyone wear green, and I'm like, well, I don't really want to wear green today, so it's not going to be, you could wear whatever you want, but we are going to be doing some different things on the different nights. So the only one that we've sort of set for sure is the Friday on the, what day did I say that was? Now I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. Hold on. So Friday the 12th is going to be our toe auction. And this was Marla's idea. I wanted to do a foot party. And she said, well, we should do a toe auction. And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So explain to me what a toe auction is and how it works.
Yeah, so a toe auction is, and this is something that I learned from a historian around kinky Black folks in the Harlem Renaissance. And so basically a toe auction is where people, who want their feet to be auctioned off, they are behind a curtain and only their toes and feet are showing. And the people who are on the other side of the curtain are bidding on the toes to take those toes out on a date or have some time with them, with that particular person or with those particular feet or toes. And so, it's sort of like the highest bidder wins. So that is what the toe auction is essentially. So we are, bidding on toes.
So in this circumstance, right, they're not going to be taking the toes out on a date. They're going to actually be taking them to the dungeon and hopefully having a play session with them. And I think that, the people that do volunteer to be part of the toe auction are going to be willing participants in playing with somebody new. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. I am super excited about that. I've been wanting to do a foot party and have been thinking about that. And when this opportunity sort of fell in our lap, I said to myself, and I said to Marla, we definitely have to have one of the events be a foot party. So this is going to be really fun. I'm super excited that it's tying into the historical aspect of the BIPOC community. I think that's really important and something that's really important to you as well, Marla. I know that you talk a lot about history and teach a lot about history in the kink community. And I think that, knowing history is so essential to knowing where we are today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. These are the trailblazers, right? That we get to emulate this foot party because of that, right? So I'm super excited just to see how we can make it happen. And hopefully we can make it happen again and again, bring it back.
Yeah. So, this opportunity sort of fell in our lap and we're going to be doing this 5-week pop-up event. However, this is really the beginning. We are both, hoping and, I think it's even more than hope, to be honest. I I really feel like this was meant to be our partnership. And so, we're hoping to create a permanent space in South Florida for the community, because unfortunately, the spaces around kink play are really small. I did go to a very tiny dungeon last week and was surprised at how small it was. And so I really feel like, our community needs more space, more opportunity to connect. And so hopefully this turns into something bigger and better and, year round.
Yeah, it will.
It will, right? It will. Putting it out there into the universe. So let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about week 2, because week 2 is going to be amazing. There's going to be some great education. So let's talk about. So we already sort of covered like this, the type of classes and the type of things that are going to be happening every day. But I do want to talk about the classes that we're going to be teaching. So week 2. Do you want to talk about week 2 Wednesday?
Sure. So week 2 Wednesday, we are going to be Eve is going first with all about breath, pleasure, and health. So that class is going to be first up. And so, of course, if you got titties or if you got a partner who has titties, this is the opportunity to learn more and, get excited about it. And then my class after that is going to be Dirty Talk. So I'll be teaching you, we'll be going over 100 dirty talk phrases, but mostly teaching you how to dirty talk, what it means to dirty talk, what kind of dirty talk is really important for you and your lovers. And that's what makes it always, juicy. And so, so those are the Wednesday. And then the Saturday, super excited about, because it's going to be, Eve is going to be up with her intensive with the sexual health hacks for longevity. And so with the sexual health hacks for longevity, there's going to be workshops for men health hacks, women's health hacks, and then you have, oh my gosh,
Safety.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the first class, and I've taught this class on SDC before. It's called Rock Hard Wood at Any Age, and that's going to be for the men. And the ladies, it's called Wetter Sex and Wilder Orgasms. And the third class is called Safety Sex Hacks. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I cover a lot of information, but ways that you can really improve the longevity of your sexual health for years to come. And, a lot of times people, sort of put that on the back burner in their lives over time. And unfortunately, men can lose up to 20% of their penis size if they don't use their parts. And women, same thing. We can also experience vaginal atrophy, and over time, that can create painful sex and other conditions that I will be talking about. So it's really important to think about the longevity of your sexual health, if that's something that's important to you. So that is what I'm going to be covering. And then safety is going to be talking about all sorts of things in terms of STI testing and what you should be looking for, and just safety in general around boundaries, consent, etc. So that's going to be a really interesting class as well. So I'm excited about teaching that class, or that intensive, I should say. And then what did I want to say? Because you said something just a few seconds ago, and I wanted to comment on that. But Marla is an amazing teacher. I have seen her teach in Portland, Oregon this year. I've seen her teach in West Palm Beach. So I will be attending all of her classes because I want to learn from the best. If you are unfamiliar, she is an AASECT certified sex therapist and award-winning. Why don't you tell us about your AASECT awards, because you know more about them than so.
Yes, I'm a 3-time award-winning sexologist and educator, sexual strategist, speaker, just really helping people to better their sex lives, specializing around seduction, communication, sex skills, all those things. So yeah, it is my jam. I love my job. And I have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's my background is in sex research. So a lot of the things I talk about are really based in science. And then I also talk about how I bring that science into the bedroom. So I do talk about personal experiences I've had. And, a lot of times I talk about the reason why I came up with the face slapping mastery class is because I gave someone a concussion hitting them. And that's something you don't want to do. So it's sort of like, please learn from my mistakes kind of thing. And now not only because I've been a Kinkster for 25 years. So, over the years before I learned how to do things properly or before I got involved with, leather and kink lifestyle, I was doing things, but not in a safe way. So now I'm so happy that I'm armed with the information, the knowledge, the science, and the practice to ensure that I give people the right knowledgeable information about how to move in the world and how to be safe, or as safe as we can, when it comes to kink and sex and whatnot. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I really love about the kink community is that there's a lot of educational opportunities. I've been going to conferences, and we're going to be doing a conference as well the last weekend of the month. It's going to be a 2.5-day conference, and we'll talk about that in a minute because I want to get to week 3 and talk about the education that's happening in week 3. So you want to jump in with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So week 3, we are jumping in with a Kink 101 class with Eve starting off. So if you are not familiar with kink, or you just want to learn something a little bit new or expand your horizons around kink, this is a perfect opportunity to get that Kink 101 in. And then later on, I will be talking about the art of alluring unicorns. So basically, how to get that threesome or more some going, how to coordinate orgies, how to coordinate things, and make sure it's a really great experience. And I'll talk about flirting and what that means for people as a couple trying to engage in a unicorn, what that looks like. So super excited about that Wednesday. And then on Saturday for the educational intensive, I will be talking about the good kind of torment. And so the first part of that intensive is going to be sensual pussy torture. So I will have a demo for that, a demo bottom for that. And so I'll be talking about what that looks like for sensual pussy torture. And then for the second half is a combo class of dirty talk and breath play. So I call it the charm of choking. So we're going to go all about how to learn breath play techniques, as well as how to combine our dirty talk to make it really freaking amazing. So it is a sort of a part 1, part 2 of that intensive. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing for the educational thing for education for that week. Yeah.
For that week. And, now I remember what I was going to say. It was regarding dirty talk, because you mentioned that before, right? And I love dirty talk. I'm not going to lie. And you're giving people 100 phrases. That's a lot. That's a whole repertoire, right? So what are your top 3 favorite phrases for dirty talk?
It really kind of depends on who I'm playing with.
Right.
When it comes to kink, usually I love it when people are very obedient. So,
Okay.
The classic, oh, you're such a good girl. Yes. That's a really great phrase. Let's see. Usually I'm just kind of in the moment. There's one phrase I have like, ooh, what a sweet, sexy ass you have. Right? Can't wait to get my hands on it. Or it could be something along the lines of like, ooh, you love this juicy pussy. And usually that's where I'm leading your hands on my pussy and being like, you like this juicy pussy, don't you? So, something along those lines are probably my favorite that come across. That spoke to me just now.
Those are the ones that came to you right now, but I'm sure that with a repertoire of 100 things to say, you have a lot more to share. So I'm excited to take that class. That's going to be so amazing. I absolutely love dirty talk. I really think it enhances the experience so much. And so when you are prepared with what to say, you can really up your sex game. So that is going to be a lot of fun. And then that brings us into week 4, which is the week of the conference. So let's talk about Wednesday first. Tell us what we're doing that week.
Yeah. So Wednesday, gosh, we have so many things going on. So Wednesday, we are doing, you are going to go first with the sexual longevity protocol. So the private client blueprint for lifelong pleasure. So how are people going to make their relationships, their sexuality last a long time? I don't know if you want to speak more about that and what that entails.
Yeah, so I'm breaking down like like I said, private client blueprint, right? So I am a sexual health and pelvic floor physical therapist, and I see clients that are dealing with conditions like erectile dysfunction for men or premature ejaculation. For women, it's more about painful sex or decreased vaginal sensitivity and dryness. And I do a treatment called acoustic wave therapy in my practice that helps to bring blood flow to the area, right? But there are also things that I give my clients as homework, right? Physical therapists love a home exercise program. And so this is basically my protocol that I give my clients so that they can really make the most of their therapy. And so I'm going to be breaking down the things that I, have my clients do for quote unquote homework. And, this is available to everybody. This information will be available to everybody so that you can do these things at home too, in the privacy of your own home, and really help to maximize your sexual longevity. Because if you don't use it, you'll lose it, right? And we don't want to lose our sexual function. So that's what I'm going to be talking about that night.
Yes, awesome. And yeah, I say that all the time. Oof, you don't use it, you lose it. I said that on a perimenopause, menopause class last night. I was like, gotta do it. And then I will be teaching later on irresistible intimacy tips and tricks for oral elevation. So basically, oral sex for all bodies. Okay. So whatever body you have, whatever genitals you have, whether you are, you have a vulva, vagina, a penis, or anything in between, if you're intersex, I talk about how to give that person oral pleasure. So we'll be going over all sorts of tips, tricks, techniques, lots of techniques, toys to use, things like that will really enhance oral pleasure for you. So that's going to be, fun as well.
I want to be the demo bottom. No, I'm just I'm volunteering now. I mean, maybe I will now.
It's so funny. I did a squirting class, and
Okay.
I had a demo bottom for a squirting class. And when I tell you, that is so much pressure when you're in front of like 30 people who are like, you better make this squirting happen. And luckily I did, but it's one of those things that's like, oof, I don't know if I could ever, I don't know if I can I'm gonna give myself a heart attack doing something like that. But I will go over the techniques and everything, but maybe one of these days I'll do it again at another like swingers event. So yeah, we'll see.
I definitely think that should be on the agenda. Okay. We'll have to talk about that off camera, but I definitely think that should be on the agenda because I think squirting is something that a lot of people are interested in. And we did talk about doing some presentations during our parties and maybe even during the munches. So that
maybe
would
we
be
can do
really
a demo during the
so that might be something really fun to do during either like one of the munches or during one of the parties, and less pressure in front of a whole class. But definitely squirting is something that feels amazing, and that a lot of people want to learn how to do, just don't know the technique. And I have to say, there is a technique for it. If you know how to do it properly and not too hard so that it causes pain, just right. And that's just me because certain parts of my body I don't want to experience pain.
Mhm.
But that's not to say that, the kink community is the same as me, obviously. But that's something that I think we should definitely talk about, and figure out where we can plug that in to the schedule, because I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So where are we? Saturday? Are we up to Saturday?
Yes, we are on Saturday. So Saturday.
This is our mini con.
No, because we have our the mini con. So we don't have an intensive. So we'll be having the mini con during that time.
Exactly.
So we will be having some guest presenters, some performances, and just some, just come for the day and check it out. It's really, we're still putting it all together. So we're, finalizing our presenters now. So it's gonna be a good time. So details, we'll be getting those details out soon.
Yes, and the mini con is going to be it's going to be Friday, it's going to be Saturday, and then a portion of the Sunday morning. So the mini con is going to be a really amazing time to connect with a lot of people, and also to learn from different people besides Marla and I. We will be teaching also, but we're not going to, monopolize the whole entire conference. We're going to try and get some, local people, and I know there's some people that want to come down from Atlanta to teach, and so absolutely, it's going to be a really amazing mini conference. And of course, the dungeon will be available to play in throughout the day, and we'll have food, and it's just going to be a really great time to learn and connect.
Awesome.
And then the last week, right?
I know, the last week. So we're bringing it in. So Wednesday, Eve will be starting us off with Let's Talk Length, Girth, and Health, a no BS Q&A for men. So talking about all about the penis, all about the penis health, how to get that length, how to get that girth, what does it mean? And I imagine, are you going to be talking about like ED and arousal, all those things that,
Yes, I am. And I'm specifically talking in this course. So we will be covering erectile dysfunction, etc. But I will be talking in this course about actual products that you can use to actually lengthen your penis and actually make it thicker naturally. Okay, we're not talking about any kind of surgical procedures, which I do not believe in, unless you've absolutely lost all function completely. So I really feel like, people can make huge differences if they are consistent with using certain products on a regular basis. So absolutely, let me just think of Sam Itzaki was on my show this season, and he talks about these products as well. So if you want more information about them beforehand, you can definitely check out those episodes with Sam. But he talks about these products, and I love to recommend them because I really do think that they make a huge difference. And especially if someone is feeling like, well, first of all, they could have lost some girth or lost some length just from not using it, right? And so you want to regain that. But if you aren't happy with your size, you can certainly make a difference in that arena as well. And I also talk about normal penis size, because, what people see on porn is not necessarily what is reality, right? What they obviously hire people with much larger penises. And so I think that gives a lot of men, they feel bad about their own penis if it's not looking like the porn stars, and that is not the case. So we talk about that. So it's going to be a wealth of information.
Nice. And I will be bringing it in with a kissing class. So, kiss with confidence class. So I'm going to be going over what is it and what kind of kisser you are, why it's important to think about slowing down while you're kissing. We're going to go over sensual kissing, all sorts of kissing techniques, a lot of kissing techniques that we go over in Jess and I's book, The Ultimate Guide to Seduction and Foreplay. So we'll be going over all those different techniques. So if you have a partner, you want to bring the partner, you can. If not, it's totally okay. I always bring my kissing partner here with me.
She's so cute.
And she's always great. And I do lots of demos with her. So you don't need a partner for the kissing class. It's great if you have one, but no partner is needed. So you can always come by yourself to learn some new techniques.
Okay. Darn it. You already have a demo bottom for that one. Okay. So that's going to be Wednesday. And then there will not be a Saturday that week because Saturday is the 4th of July. So our event will end on the Friday party. And the Friday party, we decided we're going to be doing a meat rack. And I just experienced for the very first time a meat rack in Atlanta for Marla's birthday party, which was so much fun. And so, I had no idea what a meat rack was until this party, and it was a lot of fun. So you want to talk about what it is? Because I don't think everybody knows what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So the meat rack is this inspiration that I got from being in the Bay Area. So, I've grown up in the Bay Area and I teach a lot in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, not the Florida Bay Area, but San Francisco Bay Area. And so I came across this meat rack for the first time with Bonobo Network, and I fell in love. I was like, oh my God, I get to touch all of these naked people everybody is naked. They're tied up. And they basically have consent cards where it says, yes, you can do these things to them, or no, you can't do those things to them. And it's lovely. So I got to make people squirt on the meat rack. I got to hit people. I got to, do breath play. I got to spank people. It was really, really fun. And so I brought it to the South. So I brought it to Sex Down South for my private parties that I had at the conference. And then I had it for my birthday party. So it's funny because people hear about it and they're like, can you invite me to the meat rack? So it's always this kind of little hush hush thing, but we're making it big in public now. We're going to say like, hey, come through in the meat rack. And if you want to be meat on the meat rack, just let me know. We can make that happen for you. So
yes, you can volunteer to be a piece of meat, right?
Yes. Yes.
And I just thought that was genius. I think we had like 4 rounds of the meat rack at your party, and lots of people volunteering, and it was super, super fun. So I definitely highly recommend putting the July 3rd on your list of things to do, because it is going to be an amazing, amazing end to this 5-week conference. So anything else you want to talk about in terms of the conference itself?
Well, I just think like I'm super excited about it. I think people should come and check it out. Just support us in any way that you can. We are really, this is a fundraiser for us to get a permanent venue. And, granted, we'll have more of these pop-ups, but the ultimate goal here is to have a space for us that you can come in at any time. You can learn the things you need to learn, and that you can have fun or do the parties, all the time. So we really are just want this to be kind of a moment in time for us. But I'm just super excited about it. We definitely have partnership opportunities for people who are open to want to be partners. And then we also, if you want to be a vendor, we have, those openings as well. So if you have a product, if you're an entrepreneur like us, if you want to sell things, or if you just want to like tell people about your thing, your service or product, this is a really great opportunity to do so. So again, make sure you look on the calendar, see what's happening, and you'll be able to really kind of get a deeper dive into like where, what kinds of things you want to participate in. Or if you want to participate the whole month, because if you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, I want to pop in like 4 days out of the week, you can get a month-long pass. There is an opportunity for you to do that. So we have month-long memberships that you can have. And the month-long membership is every single class, every single intensive, all the meals, the munches, the parties, as well as the con, right? It's everything. So that month-long membership is going to be great. We also have a Wednesday class package. So if you're like, I just want to be there every Wednesday, you can come through for that. There's also the Saturday intensive pass. So if you want to, if you want to go through all the intensives, we have a pass for that. Of course, there's passes for the 3-day con as well. And if you're like, I just want to do a private rental because maybe you want to do a session with Eve, or you want to do a session with me, or you want to do the session with us both, that's definitely a possibility as well. And again, like, or if you just want to, like, I just want to have my own thing going, you can definitely do that too. So we are open to all sorts of ideas, collaborations, partnerships that would be a good fit for us. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And Marla put together the most amazing partnership package. So if you're interested in being a partner, there are different tiers. And I think the highest tier was 20,000, right? But the lowest tier was, it was, you can choose your own tier, right? But the lowest tier that was on the list was, how much was it? 1,000 or
I think
500?
1,000. Yeah.
1,000 is the lowest. So if you want to support the cause and support our fundraiser, absolutely reach out to us. Every single tier has things that are offered to you as part of that tier. So you're not just donating the money; you're actually getting something in return. You may be getting a session with Marla and I, or other things that that I can't remember all of the things that you wrote on that. You can speak to it more than I can. So do you want to talk about the partnership package? Because everybody that I've shown it to is so impressed by what you put together. It's really a great job. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Let me pull it up real quick because
Yeah. And also, but while you're pulling that up, I want to say that, she did mention that there's opportunity for vendors. We're also still looking, if you're interested in teaching for that final mini con, we're still looking for, people that are interested in teaching. We're starting to come to a close on that. So ASAP, right, for that. And you can contact either one of us, and I'll make sure that I put our contacts in the show notes. But we're also looking for volunteers, because we're going to need volunteers throughout the month, and also dungeon monitors. So if that's something that you already know how to do and you're interested in doing that, we're looking for that as well. And so anything else? I think that was it.
Yeah. So for the partnership packages, we have all sorts of different things that we can do for you all. You can do a private activation room. Like if you have a vendor or product or service that you want to do, we have so many rooms that are available. So we're super excited about that. But we also can do like dedicated brand email blasts to our email list, as well as social media to all of our followers. So there's, for the different levels, depending on how many social media posts, as well as, podcast commercial, wonderful Eve has the Please Me podcast, which, is the #1 sex podcast. And so, you can have a commercial. You could give us samples or flyers to put for swag for people to give away. Vendor tables, banners, all those things are available. We can do YouTube videos, anything that you could possibly think of that you're like, hey, I need maybe some more marketing on this or that. We are happy to make that happen. So we are happy to do brand shout outs for recorded sessions, or even private sessions, or even talk about your product if it's relatable to any one of our classes. So if you're like, oh my gosh, this product would be so perfect for this class, let us know. We're happy to make that happen, as long as we are in alignment with your brand and product. So we also have the availability of putting your logo on our website for a backlink. So if you're interested in SEO purposes, or getting those crawlers to get you a link back, that's also possible. And then I do a lot of media and PR. And so if you are like, I want some media and PR, I'm happy to work that in with your brand as well. So we can do anything you want, anything you think of, and we're happy to formulate a package that works well for your brand.
Amazing. So if you're interested in that, I will be including that in the show notes as well, the link to the sponsorship or the partnership package, and check it out. It's really well done, and it's there's you get a lot for your money, which I think is amazing. Actually, one of the people that I shared it with said, you guys are these prices are too low, because if someone's going to get a session with both of you, you should be pricing that even more. So so check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I want to mention too that Marla and I are also going to be available throughout the month for private sessions, whether it be for health coaching, or intimacy coaching with me, and or acoustic wave therapy. And I'm running a special only for this 5-week session, and I will be posting that on SDC soon. You can go to sdc.com and use Please Me, the code Please Me, for a free trial membership. But I'm going to be offering my acoustic wave therapy, which normally costs $350 per session. And I am going to be, for this month only, offering it for $150. And I normally never do that. Okay. But this is something that I'm doing just for this pop-up event, because I really want to make this event super successful. And so I'm going to be offering that. And do you want to talk about your coaching services, Marla, and any other services that you're offering?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you can come to me for sex coaching, somatic body work, anything that I have listed on my website. So anything from a tea meditation session to if you need some yoni lingam work, as well as just general intimacy coaching, relationship coaching, sex coaching. I'm happy to help you with that as well. So yeah, we just get in touch with us and we'll make it happen.
Absolutely. I'll have office hours every Monday through Friday. So there will be appointment times available. We need to still get that schedule part set up, but we are going to be offering those services as well. So it's going to be, a wealth of information, support, one-on-one, if that's something that you're interested in, and then just lots of fun parties, munches, etc. It's going to be a whirlwind, but I am really, really looking forward to it.
Yes, absolutely. Me too. Woohoo!
Yay! So remember, Pleasure Me pop-up in West Palm Beach. It is a 5-week event. It is already available on Eventbrite. So you can go and check out all of the things that are already connected on there. Yeah, absolutely. So with all of that being said, I want to thank you, Marla, for jumping on today and for this amazing episode. And I just want to make sure that we are not missing anything before we close. I
don't think so. I think we're good.
I think we covered everything. So with all of that being said, thank you so much for hopping on today, Marla.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. I can't wait to work with you again. All
right, until next time, everyone.
All right, bye.